Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Can I ask you for another round of applause for Marching Mizzou and the Golden Girls? Also the cheerleaders, thank you so much for being here today. My name is Mike Kelly. I'm Missouri Tigers, and it is with great honor on behalf of everyone affiliated with the University of Missouri and its athletic department to welcome you here today in this very important day as we welcome here to Columbia a new director of intercollegiate athletics. It's an important day for the Mizzou family and certainly for the state of Missouri. Here to do the honors, will you please welcome the Chancellor of the University of Missouri, R. Bowen Lofton.
Thanks, Mike. Deep breath. M-I-Z. Now we all feel better. Let's go forward here. Welcome to all of you. Thanks for being here today. I see so many people I know here. I just can't call all your names out, but thanks for showing up for a very, very important moment in the history of a great institution. From 1839 to 2015, think about it. Today we have to celebrate something that's very important. We're happy to have with us today many of our coaches, our student athletes, and of course a lot of alumni, and most importantly other students here today besides our student athletes. On January 29th, just a short distance from here, Mike Alden announced his intention to leave the directorship of athletics here at Mizzou and become one of our faculty. I couldn't talk him out of it. It was one of those things that I knew would come someday, but it always comes sooner than you think. After 17 years of service to Mizzou, Mike was ready for a change. That was my marching orders, though, to get busy and find someone else to step into the shoes that Mike Alden's leaving as our director of athletics. Big shoes indeed. Those of you in the alumni especially who were here 17 years ago to remember what it was like then, and I ask you to now think about today. Jim Sterling, quite a change, right? Quite a change, Jim. So that's something we can really celebrate institutionally, an extraordinary rise to prominence on behalf of this university. So the very day that Mike announced his intention to leave his role as director of athletics, I set out a search process to find his replacement. In working with Korn Ferry, international search firm, I sat down very quickly and said, here are the kinds of things we want to find in a new director. First of all, someone of the highest integrity. Someone who will do the right thing, no matter what the consequences might be. Someone who puts the student athlete first, who holds them in the highest esteem, who knows they're here to be shaped and graduated ultimately better than they came in, prepared for the world out there. Thirdly, someone who would come here and gain the instant respect of our extraordinary staff of coaches. And of course, I also thought money is not a problem. We need to find somebody who can find the dollars as well. Other things were part of that list of criteria, but those are the four I put at the very front. And we set about a search process, took about 5 weeks, and we've arrived now at the right answer for the University of Missouri. It is my great pleasure to present to you our new Director of Athletics, Mack Rhoades. And before I sit down, Amy, turn around. This is the other half of the Rhoades family right here. And they have 3 daughters who stayed behind in Houston. 2 in college, 1 in high school right now, who you'll meet someday soon, we hope. Mack, all yours, sir.
Wow, what an unbelievable turnout And thank you for everybody that came out here for this today. I'm going to give this a try. So, like Dr. Lofton, deep breath. All right? You know what's coming, right? All right. M-I-Z. Beautiful. Thank you. It is a pleasure to be here and to be named the new director of athletics. And anytime you're fortunate to be so deserving and really fortunate to gain a position like this, there's so many people that you owe thanks to, and there's certainly a lot of people that have helped me along the way. But first and foremost, I want to thank Chancellor Lofton. He is such a dynamic leadership, and just in his year here, I know that he's made tremendous strides. He's someone that really understands and values athletics. President Wolf, I know he could not be here, but I had a tremendous conversation with him yesterday morning, and I certainly look forward to getting to know him better as well. Our Board of Curators, thank you for the unanimous vote. I was a little nervous yesterday morning between 7:30 and 9 a.m., but thank you, and again, I look forward to getting to know each and every one of you and working with you as well. If we have any local legislators and city leaders, certainly thank you for being here. I'm going to ask these two people to please stand because they're very, very special people, I know, to this university and to this athletics program. So can I please ask both Rocky and Mike Alden to stand, and please give them just a great round of applause. It's also a special day because it's Rocky's birthday. So happy birthday, Rocky. But I mean this. Has everybody watched the show on HGTV, the show Fixer Upper? If you haven't, great show, okay? This is not a Fixer Upper, okay? The job that Mike has done here in his 17 years and his staff, it has been tremendous. And the challenge is how do you take something, where Mike has continued to raise the bar and take that momentum and continue to raise it. And so, Mike, I look forward to that. And gosh darn, did you have to be that good? It is a pleasure. Doug Gillen can't be here. I certainly have a friendship and a relationship with Doug, and I just want to wish Doug all the best in terms of his new endeavors with App State. They're getting a great one. I told Doug this morning when I had a chance to see him that I'm not taking it personal, that as I'm coming in, he's leaving. But really special thanks to Doug as well. All of the University of Missouri staff, and certainly the athletics department staff, the coaches, thank you for making me feel and Amy feel so welcome. I'm coming to a great place, but I also am leaving a great place. And I am really, really fortunate to have been at the University of Houston for 5.5 years, and the leadership of Dr. Couture and our student athletes and our coaches and our staff there. I know that all of them are watching right now, and I just want to say thank you to them, because no one person does this alone, and it's a team, it's a family. And I certainly believe in that, and that's why I'm standing here, because I think I was smart enough at one point in time to understand that you have to hire and surround yourself with people smarter than yourself, and I've been lucky and fortunate to do that. Dr. Lofton already introduced my wife Amy, but I'm going to ask her to stand one more time. My partner, my rock. Again, demanding business, and certainly wouldn't have been here without her. As you can tell, hopefully, I can recruit a little bit, like our head coaches. But Amy, thank you, sweetheart. You. True story, last night at 10:42 p.m., because I'm looking at the computer and I'm trying to gather my thoughts and, what am I going to say first time, big shoes to fill, remarks. Amy comes walking up into the office, our home office, and says, Mack, have you done the taxes? And yeah, that's not where my mind's at, certainly. And I said, I said no, and she says, well, you're going to do those, right? Because it wouldn't look very good that you moved to a new school and we're delinquent with our taxes. So honey, yes, dear, I will do the taxes when we get back to Houston. So our three girls, again, Dr. Lofton mentioned them, but I look so forward to all of you meeting them. They're wonderful young ladies. Nicolette, Natalie, Noel, all born in December. My mom, all 5'4" of her, and really didn't know anything about basketball, termed it March Madness. I think you can figure out the math, but probably when I got to see Amy again after a long basketball season. So, but you will love them, I promise you. In fact, you're going to end up loving Amy and the girls a lot more than you're going to end up liking me. I promise you that. So, and finally, my mom and dad, who I know are listening, that live in Tucson, Arizona, our hometown, and my brothers, Bruce and George, who are also listening in, and their family. All of these people have been such a tremendous support, and I'm grateful to each and every one of you for the role that you've played in my life, and certainly, again, Dr. Lofton, thank you for the opportunity. Why the University of Missouri? I was thinking about this last night, and my career started as an intern at Yale University, and I'm remembering, my first big responsibility was to market the NCAA fencing championships. Now, I knew nothing about fencing, and still don't know anything about fencing, but then creating the marketing club for our kids club. And I remember there was a moment in time where I said, I want to be at a place someday that is the best, that is a national leader in our industry. And the University of Missouri and this athletics program is just that. It has, again, a tremendous leader in Chancellor Lofton. And for me, that's important, to work for somebody that I can have a daily relationship, a conversation about the vision and the different things that we need to do in terms of our student athletes. Unbelievable fan base. Again, I look forward to certainly meeting everybody here, but also getting out into the great state of Missouri and meeting our fans. They're such an important part and fabric of this program, and we're going to continue to grow it and expand our national brand. Extremely important. We're going to take that brand beyond the borders of Missouri. What I think is the best conference in the country, membership in the Southeast Conference. You couldn't ask for anything more, and it certainly, when you're in a conference that is so competitive, it's going to push us, and it's pushed Mike and his staff. Okay, how do we get better? And that's our daily challenge. We're going to have the insatiable appetite to get better every day, because if we're not getting better every day, then we're losing. And we're going to work hard, the staff, the coaches. How do we continue to raise that bar? You get over the high jump bar, and what do? You raise it again. And then you get over that, and then you raise it again. And that's our challenge, and that's certainly what we're going to do. And I think being a member of the Southeastern Conference certainly is going to help us do that. And I had a chance to have a conversation this morning with Commissioner Slive, and just special thanks to him for his warm welcome and all the things that he's done for the conference. Certainly the great tradition that we have here, again, want to continue that and certainly build upon that tradition and create new tradition. And then finally, why the University of Missouri? Because of its past history in terms of passion for student-athlete development. Student-athletes are the core of what we do. And that's something that's very near and dear to my heart, and something that Mike and his staff have done such a terrific job. It's our job as leaders to develop young people, to make sure that our student-athletes, our young men, our young women, leave this great institution, okay, with a bachelor's degree and a degree from a world-class institution. It's our job to make sure that they excel competitively. The lessons that you learn in terms of winning and how you build team and how you push yourself to a limit that you never thought that you could go. The social responsibility, and making sure that they're prepared for life when they leave here. And then finally, and I mentioned it before, the academic achievement and academic success. That's one thing that I promise that we will continue and we will do, is make sure that we develop our young people here at the University of Missouri. In closing, I would just again like to thank everybody here. I certainly look forward to working with Dr. Lofton, our tremendous student athletes, our coaches, our staff, and I am honored and privileged to be your athletics director and wear the black and gold. Thank you.
Amy, come on up. A little token from a Grateful University, displacing you once again. Thank you, Dr. Lofton. Appreciate it. Here's something for your new house.
All right.
Quiz now. Okay. Mike's in charge now. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Chancellor. Thank you, Director of Athletics Rhoades. Here's how we're going to proceed. We have 3 microphones around the room. We'll take questions from the media for a period of time. Because of time, when we break from here, we'll go back to the Tiger's Den. We'll have 2 separate gaggles. We'll have one for electronic media, followed by one for print media. Because of the interest of time, we don't have the opportunity for one-on-one interviews today. So with that being said, if you have a question, I ask you to please raise your hand. I'll call upon you. I want you to wait for the microphone, stand, and then identify yourself. Chris Gervino, if you'll stand and please begin things with your affiliation.
Okay, Mike. Thank you, Mike. Chris Gervino from KOMU TV and the Tiger Radio Network. Matt, congratulations.
Thank you, Chris.
Good luck with your taxes. I don't know that any of us want to worry about that story here in the coming few weeks. Amy, keep them in line, please. But back in all seriousness, how important to you is winning, and winning at a high level in the rugged Southeastern Conference?
Chris, first, thank you for the question, and I look forward to working with you. But it's extremely important. That's why, that's part of the reason why we do this. We want to build championship programs, not just winning teams, but championship programs that are consistently good each and every year. Now, in order to do that, and I talked about this earlier today, it's hard to win. It really is. And everybody has to be on the same page, pulling in the same direction. Not just the coaches, student athletes, athletic director, senior support staff, sports medicine, strength and conditioning, the total person program. We all collectively have to come together and make sure that we're doing everything we can for our student athletes, for our coaches, to give them the ability to win. And as we all know, this is the most competitive league, I believe, in the country, and we're going to continue to work hard. Mike, his team, they've done a great job in terms of being competitive, and we're going to want to be even more competitive.
Next question, please. David Morrison from the Columbia Tribune, if you'll please stand. Wait for the microphone. There we go.
Hey, Mac, this is David Morrison, Columbia Tribune. I guess just, you're stepping up to a Power 5 conference job now. I mean, what do you feel like it's going to take for you to, I guess, adjust to, the Power Five, especially in the age of autonomy and all the new, NCAA measures, things like that?
And it was David again, correct? David, thank you. And certainly I'll look forward to working with you. Terrific question. And, right now where I'm positioned at the University of Houston, I really believe that is an institution that's right on the verge and cusp of becoming or entrance into a Power Five conference. I believe in terms of building a championship culture, organization built on excellence, accountability, integrity. That doesn't matter if it happens at the University of Akron, University of Houston, or at the University of Missouri. Fundraising is fundraising. Facility development is facility development. Developing our student athletes, making sure in terms of academically, social responsibility. And then in terms of the autonomous legislation, we're very engaged in it. I'm very engaged in it. The new director of athletics at the University of Houston will already have a plan in place in terms of full cost of attendance, how we're going to deal with loss of value, insurance. We've already came out publicly and endorsed, not nullifying a scholarship due to athletic reasons. So, I think the transition will go very, very well since certainly I've been engaged in it for a year to 2 years.
Next question comes from Dave Matter of the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. Dave?
Hi, Mac. What are going to be some of your priorities once you get settled into Columbia, and how will you go about putting together your staff, considering the folks here at Missouri and maybe some people you want to bring with you from Houston?
Again, great question. That's the challenge of coming into a new place, and so really the first several months I'm going to do a lot of listening and a lot of learning, and really formulating my own ideas and my thoughts in terms of sitting down. I told the staff today I'm going to meet with every staff member individually. I want to get to know them. I want to know, do they like what they're doing? Do they feel like their strengths or they're aligned correctly? I'm going to meet with all of our head coaches. What do you need? What do you need to take your program to the next level? And if it's at the highest level, then how do we continue to stay at that level? So it's going to take me certainly several months to really begin to form my impression, and then work in terms of a strategic plan and how do we go and attack this. There is a strategic plan that I think was put forth in July of 2014. We're going to take a look at that and see, how do we tweak that? And then again, I think you talked about staff. We'll evaluate staff, and we're not going to change just to change. If we change, it's to get better. And this certainly isn't about me. This program isn't about me. It's about our student athletes. It's about this university.
Next question, Gabe DeArmond from Rivals.
Mac, a lot of us talked to Bob Stoll yesterday, and he said he talked to you throughout the last week a little bit. Other than Coach Stoll, who did you talk to through this process, and just kind of take us through your decision-making process over the last week?
Well, I'm sure most everybody in this room knows Coach Stoll, and I certainly still call him Coach Stoll, and he loves this place. So anytime I asked him about the University of Missouri, he couldn't have been more complimentary of the people, of Columbia, of the campus, etc. And in terms of who I talked to, I really didn't talk to a lot of people. I mean, I really felt like this was a confidential process. The University of Missouri, its athletics program is known as one of the best in the country, and certainly just maybe through different colleagues had different ideas. But in terms of anybody really other than Bob, didn't spend a whole lot of time. I knew this was a great place, and I certainly look forward to even taking it to that next level.
Darren?
Darren Hellwedge with KBIA Radio here in Columbia. Can you talk a bit in your own experience and just kind of how you're going to approach this new job about balancing competition and wanting to win with rules compliance, keeping your individual athletes and your teams eligible and within the rules?
Well, and again, we talked to the staff this morning, but the one thing we will never compromise is integrity and compliance. It's hard to win. I said that earlier, but we're going to win, and we're going to do it the right way. And we certainly won't cut corners. There's a right way to do things and a wrong way, and we're going to choose to do the right way, not just some of the time, but every time. And I think we have a group of coaches, a group of student athletes, staff that's committed to that. I'm certainly, I have zero tolerance for any misconduct in terms of rules, and you can do both. You can win, and you can do it the right way. This program has proven it, and we'll continue to do it that way.
Next question to the back right, Todd Palmer from the Kansas City Star.
Hey, Mac, welcome to Columbia. Todd Palmer, Kansas City Star. I was just curious, you're kind of in a unique position with Mike Alden still being here. First off, why was it important that I understand you asked him to be here at this introductory press conference. Why was that important to you, and do you expect to lean on him a little bit during the transition while he's, since he's still going to be around?
Yeah. Well, it certainly was important for me that Mike is here so that this group of people here could give him a round of applause and thank him for the great job that he's done for this university. That's really why I wanted both Mike and Rocky here, and they've been such an important part of this institution for 17 years, and I think it's a great advantage, a great asset for me that Mike will be around. He's been one of the best and is one of the best athletic directors in the country, and why wouldn't I want to lean on him and learn from him and move forward and have him here? I have great respect for Mike, and I'm excited that he will be around.
Next question comes from the left. Yes, sir.
Mark Seelig from the Columbia Missourian. Welcome, Mac.
Thank you.
Obviously, at Houston, you kind of tackled some really big projects and oversaw some huge moves. In researching this job, is there anything that you've kind of seen that you'd like to tackle?
Well, again, I think it would be a little bit disingenuous of me if I said yes, I have an exact plan in place. Again, I think it's the first couple months coming here and really learning and listening. There's been talk publicly a little bit of an end zone facility, so I'll certainly get with the staff and get with Coach Pinkel and talk about that and how important is that to the program moving forward. I know that we have the new softball stadium on its way, but in terms of anything else, I'm really going to take some time to really sit and talk to our staff and see again where our strengths are, where our weaknesses, and then I'll formulate a plan from there.
Next question comes from Joel Waljasper, right section here on the aisle from the Columbia Tribune.
This is for Chancellor Lofton. At what point did Mack come on your radar as a potential candidate, and maybe how far back do you guys go?
I first met him a few weeks ago, so that's as far as we go. But he was early on my list. I mean, basically, we put together a list very early in the process with the help of the search firm, and he was on that list from the very beginning.
Next question.
And thank you, Dr. Lofton, for that. So,
Next question. Will you please join me in welcoming the winningest head football coach in the history of the University of Missouri, Gary Pinkel? Our next question comes from the back of the room. Yes, sir. Please stand.
Matt Michaels, KTGR Radio. Mac, do you think that there's any sort of leap between where you're coming from at the University of Houston and now you're one of 14 athletic directors in the SEC, or is it the same job description, just different place?
Yeah, I certainly think there's a leap in terms of competition. I think the same skill set that's required at the University of Houston is going to be required here. I feel really comfortable about that in terms of organizational leadership, the ability to raise money, all of the student well-being issues, et cetera. The challenge here is going to be, how do we be, I don't want to say become competitive because we are competitive, but how do we maintain that competitiveness? How do we be the best in the SEC? And again, I know there's great institutions in the SEC, but why can't the University of Missouri be the best? And that's going to be our quest from day one. That's my belief. It's going to be our coaches' belief. It's going to be our student-athletes' belief. It's going to be our staff's belief. And we're going to do everything we can to be the best in the SEC.
Next question here in the section to your left. Yes, sir. Please stand.
It's Howard Griever, KOMU8 News. In Mike Alden's time here, we saw Mizzou take a quantum leap in terms of its brand and its importance. By the time, what is your end vision for Mizzou athletics by the time you're done?
I want MU athletics to be considered, if not the best, one of the best in the entire country. And when I say that, it's not just wins and losses. It's certainly wins and losses, but it's integrity, how we run our program. So we're graduating student athletes, that they're going on and being prepared for life. It's about relationships and the way we work with people across campus, how we're intertwined in terms of this community and certainly the state of Missouri. So when I talk about the best, again, it certainly includes wins and losses, but it goes much greater or beyond just that.
Back of the room again, Todd Palmer from the Kansas City Star.
Sorry to double dip here, but I was curious, do you view Missouri as a destination job and a place that you could see yourself being for 17 years like Mike Alden was?
And thank you for that question. We've been at a really great place, and it was going to take something special for us to leave, truly. And as I mentioned in my remarks, this place is special. And Amy and I and the three girls are moving to Columbia, Missouri with the intent that this is our last job. This is a destination place. And it's a destination place because, again, of Mike and his staff and Dr. Lofton and everybody in this room. They've turned this into a destination job.
Time allows for two more questions. The first one, section to our left. Yes, sir.
Hi, Aaron Reese from the Columbia Missourian. You mentioned raising the bar as something you always want to keep doing. And your time that you've had the job so far, what you've thought, how can that bar be raised? In what aspects?
Well, again, I think it can be, I think the bar can always be raised in every aspect. I'm certainly a person that will demand excellence, will demand greatness in everything we do. I have this insatiable appetite that we're always going to get better. You always can get better in everything you do. So if that's facilities, okay, if that's the total person program, if that's our compliance program, our life skills program, just across the board, the way we feed our student athletes, our strength and conditioning, our sports performance area, our sports medicine area, the way we care for our student athletes. We will look in terms of every aspect, every component of this athletics program and try to raise the bar. And you know what? The bar is raised pretty high, so we've got our work cut out for us, but I promise you that we're going to continue to do that.
That completes this segment of today's event. As a reminder, we're going to move to the Tiger's Den, which is down the hallway behind us, and then to the left. If you have a question, follow-up questions for Chancellor Lofton, please see Christian Basie or Mary Jo Bankin, and we'll have two separate gaggles, one for the electronic media, also one for the print media. And before we go, I would be remiss if I didn't recognize one other head coach here. He happens to coach the #1 wrestling team in the country. His name is Brian Smith, over here to my right. Congratulations on a 4th consecutive conference title, and good luck at Nationals in a couple of weeks. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of everyone with the University of Missouri and its athletic department, we sincerely are glad you were here today. God bless each and every one of you. Another round of applause for our new Director of Athletics, Mack Rhoades, and his wife, Amy. Take it away.